Discipline is not actually what you think. You think discipline equals to routine. But the problem is, the more you try to stick with the routine, the less disciplined you become. I know that sounds wrong, but bear with me for this video and I'll change your point of view. We all do this. I have done this multiple times. Whenever I feel undisciplined, what I do is I take a piece of paper, list down all the things that I have to do in a day, estimate the time that each activity will take, create time slots for each activity, create a routine. First day, perfect. Second day, some slips here and there. And by the third day, I am somewhere else and my routine is somewhere else. And I'll start living my life normally. And again, after a few weeks, a new wave of motivation will come inside me. I'll take a look at the old routine, see where I went wrong, take a new piece of paper, list down all the activities that I'm doing now, estimate the time more better than the last time because I failed from it, right? So I have to learn. And then I create a new routine and I'll start executing. Again, doing the same story. First day perfect, second day slips here and there, and by third or fourth day, the routine is completely gone. So, what I was doing constantly with these activities, and probably you might also be doing, is that you try to create a structure and then try to fit yourself in that structure. But in my opinion, it never works because it never worked for me. I've done this for years. So, how did discipline enter? Well, it started when I started changing the meaning of what discipline actually means. To me, earlier, it used to be routine equals to discipline. But as I became more aware of how things actually work and started practicing them, I came to this definition that discipline means intelligence of the moment. Discipline means becoming aware of what your body, mind, and energy are like in that particular moment and doing an action accordingly. Now, routine, let's say, take an example. You have a routine, and over there you have mentioned that you will eat lunch at 1 p.m. Fixed 1 p.m. every time you will have your lunch ready and you will start eating it. Routine will ask you to eat it every day at 1 p.m. irrespective if you are actually hungry or not, because there is a time slot you'll have to go and do that activity. What happens is that even when your body, when it is not willing or ready to take food, you're feeding it weakens your digestion, so the routine is actually not helping you. Let's say you have a routine of working at certain times for, let's say, 4 hours. Your mind is not willing or your mind is not ready to give something productive as an output. But because there is a routine, you'll sit over there and you'll ponder about things, you'll pretend to work, but you won't get much done because you have to follow a routine. Let's say you have to go to the gym at fixed hours and at a particular time in a day. Your body is not adjusted to that particular time for that day, but because it is a routine, you go over there, and when your body is actually, your energies are actually feeling down, you put it through something which is going to make it even worse. What discipline says, on the other hand, is to be aware. It's 1 p.m., it's your food time, but today you are not hungry, so you take a step back. Your discipline, your routine or schedule will say that you have to work for 4 hours. Your discipline will observe that your mind is not ready to give something productive as an outcome. So it will inquire, why is this happening? Maybe I need rest. Maybe I need to take a break. It will accept it. It will go take a break and it will come back fresh. And now it will be able to do better work. For example, this script or this YouTube video itself. Usually, I record these on Sundays. What I do is I wake up, do my workout, come back, open my laptop, take a herbal tea, put some good focus music, and start writing. Today, for some reason, I was not getting proper way to actually formulate this idea. This idea had been there with me for a long time, but I was not able to articulate it in the best possible way. What I did, I closed my laptop, I finished my tea, I closed my laptop, and I went to bed. I scrolled my phone for 5-10 minutes, read something here and there. Then I realized that I actually need to take a nap. I had just woken up almost 1.5, 2 hours ago, but I felt like taking a nap. I put a 10 minutes timer on my phone, closed my eyes, and stayed there. And after 10 minutes, I opened my eyes, I sat down, opened my laptop, and wrote this entire script in one go. Routine would have said that, your timer has started, sit here, work, work, work. Discipline said that you actually might need rest. Take rest, come back stronger, and get things done. When I was following a routine, I had made a routine to go and work out for 6 days in a week. I was barely able to get 3 workouts done because it was at a fixed time, fixed intensity, just go and do it without even thinking. But when I switched to discipline as a mode by responding to the intelligence, sometimes worked out for 1.5 hours, sometimes it would be just 20 minutes. And it wouldn't be even at the same time. I just followed the discipline and worked and brought down the intensity by listening to my body and the energy at that particular moment in time. Now, what happens with routine is that you start building a habit, right? Now, habit is something, for example, if you walk into a room, it stays usually dark. Your habit is to go and switch on the lights. The moment you come into the room, you'll switch on the lights. Irrespective if there is already sunlight coming or something like that, you'll by default come and switch on the lights. While that habit behavior is helpful sometimes, but discipline is actually more helpful. And usually, routine ends up building your habits. Habit of eating at 1 p.m., habit of sleeping at certain hour, habit of this, habit of that. And that habit formation actually dulls your intelligence. Because now it's an habit. You are not thinking of what to do, how to do, etc. You're not present, you're just doing it. And there is one more key thing to keep in mind when we are just following the routine. When routine actually becomes a goal for us to maintain in life, there are two outcomes that happen. One, you follow the routine, you feel great. You sway away from the routine, you feel guilty. But if you make discipline a goal and not routine, what happens is that the only outcome is learning. The only outcome is expansion of your intelligence and your awareness. Because if you did some activity, it worked well, then you have an intelligence of learning about your body, mind, and energy to make it well. If it doesn't go well, then you have a learning about your body, mind, and energy, the states of your body, mind, and energy, to understand why it didn't work well. Now, I have spent this much time in the video explaining why we should be more disciplined and routine is not the way, etc. And now I'm going to share one idea with you which will contradict everything. The way to build this discipline is actually through routine. Yes, it is actually through routine. What happens is that once you're giving the same condition to your body, mind, and energy, it will start working in certain patterns, eating patterns, feeling hungry patterns, right? For sleeping, it will be getting tired patterns. You'll start observing how your body, mind, and energy behaves when you are actually ready to sleep. When you are actually ready, how your mind feels, how your body feels when you are actually ready to do a deep work session, how your body feels, your energy feels when you are actually willing to do a very great high intensity workout instead of a very light workout. The only key to keep in mind is that when you are following these routines, don't let it become a unconscious habit. Don't let it become an unconscious habit. Instead, be fully conscious when you are following your routine in the best possible way so that you start developing the intelligence of the pattern of your body, mind, and awareness. Body, mind, and energy. You'll start observing how your body feels when you're how your mouth starts watering, how your stomach starts feeling the hunger pangs, how your energy starts dipping when you are actually hungry. You'll start observing how your body feels light, how your body feels strong when you're willing and when you're ready to do a very high intensity workout, how your eyes get heavier when you're ready to sleep. And you will be fully conscious of these things. And when you do these things, your intelligence muscle will build, and that is nothing but your discipline, intelligence of the moment. And once you do it consciously for a longer period of time, you'll start seeing that you are depending less on routine. And from the outside world, it may seem that you are quote unquote less disciplined now, because sometimes you are working out in the day, sometimes you are working out in the evening, sometimes you are doing work at morning, sometimes you are doing work, deep work in the afternoon. People start seeing you from the outside as not disciplined person, but the discipline is actually now internalized, and your outputs will flourish, your work will improve, your health will improve, your intensity to be in the moment will improve altogether. And that is nothing but discipline. And routine is nothing but a tool to build that intelligence muscle. And over a period of time, what will happen, because you are following your own unique rhythm of your body, mind, and energy, it will eventually start setting into a routine. But this routine is not made by your mind. This routine is not that you have taken a piece of paper, you have written slots and everything. This is a routine which is naturally found out of your own body patterns and everything. Because till now, by the time your pattern starts forming naturally, you have already developed that muscle for intelligence. So the feeling of guilt, which actually weakens you, which actually brings you down, which actually kills your willpower and motivation because you are not able to stick to a routine that your mind set, will vanish, because all you'll do is keep learning, and this learning is endless. How your body feels, how your mind talks, how your energy moves when doing certain thing, that intelligence will seep in within you, and you will not have to use routines anymore. It's like taking those supporting wheel for learning how to ride a two-wheeler, when and eventually you take away those two-wheeler those supporting wheels, and you're just able to ride your bike. That's what living with discipline will start feeling like. So routine is not discipline, discipline is not control, discipline is actually intelligence that is needed in that particular moment. Let me know what you think in the comments below, and subscribe to stay on the journey to learn more about body, mind, and awareness. Thank you so much. See you in the next one.